Early Pokemon sets are notorious for being super weak, but Pokemon's newest set, Paldea Evolve, features some of the most unique artwork to ever be seen in the TCG. Considering the amazing upgrades in artwork and the fact that LGSs across the country have confirmed it will be a short printed set, are people making a big mistake sleeping on Paldea Evolved? What's going on, folks? PokeDegen here. Today we're going to be going over why you should not be sleeping on Pokemon's newest set, Paldea Evolved. For starters, we know for a 100% fact that Paldea Evolved is going to be short printed. We have multiple LGS owners on Twitter confirming that that is the case, that their allocations are significantly smaller than Scarlet and Violet base set, and we know those allocation numbers were already cut by up to 40%, reported by many LGS owners. If you're feeling generous today, go and hit the subscribe button. So folks, that means that there's 50 to 60% of booster boxes now that LGSs will not be getting. And those 50 to 60% of booster boxes are going to go to Walmart, Target, and I think even Amazon. But basically, the Pokemon Company just softened the LGS owners up, and now they're lowering their allocations even more. And I guess they want to see how the big box stores move their booster boxes online. And that's very significant if you're an investor or collector in Pokemon, because pre-orders from LGSs are generally the best price you can get for booster boxes. If you pre-order a case of booster boxes, for example, from Smoke and Mirrors right here, you can get them at $104 to $105 a box. You're within 5 to 10% of distro prices. So when we look at that metric, it's actually an amazing buy to pick those up at that price point if you don't have access to somebody with those distro prices. Now folks, since we can take into account the short printed factor of the Paldea Evolved set, we have to remember it's a very early set. It's only the second set of the Scarlet and Violet era. So I'm going to compare it to some other early sets. Like this slide says, early sets are notorious for being trash, okay? That's generally the case. When we look at Darkness Ablaze, around 2 years old, the top 2 cards still can get them for under $35, under $40. For the longest time, you could get the Marnie and the Snorlax for under $40. I love the fact that we're starting off Scarlet and Violet with such strong artwork. The artwork in this base set is just phenomenal. Even if you don't love the Pokemon, you can't deny that this base set artwork from Scarlet and Violet is just phenomenal and extremely unique. We can see that the Pokemon Company understands that we really love alternate arts, and with Paldea Evolved, they're just really starting to ramp it up. We see so much great artwork right here. Some very unique Tyranitar cards, Sudowoodo cards. The starters just have phenomenal artwork. Whether you like the starters or not, you can't deny that this artwork is just phenomenal. It makes me very reminiscent of the X and Y era. Not saying that Scarlet and Violet is on that level necessarily, but if we look back to the X and Y era, we started with Flashfire, which had some phenomenal Charizard cards, just some flat out amazing Mega EX cards of some OG Pokemon like the Kangaskhan. Flashfire was just flat out phenomenal, okay, for a second set in an era. And only 4 months after Flashfire, we got Phantom Forces. The Pokemon Company was just piling on, okay. The Phantom Forces had the Silver Dialga, just a crazy card. And not only that, it had some amazing Gengar cards, okay. 2 stacked sets that really started off X and Y. So when we fast forward to 2023, 6-7 years later, I really like the fact that we started off so strong with Scarlet and Violet base set and Paldea Evolved. The last time we had these early sets being so strong was 8 to 9 years ago, and we know how expensive those booster boxes are going for today. Just some amazing factors the new Scarlet and Violet era has going for it. It's very crucial if you're an investor or collector in Pokemon to pick up these pre-orders at $104, $105 a box. Once these LGSs with very limited allocations compared to last era sell out of their booster boxes, the big box stores like I showed earlier are just going to have control of the rest of the market. And even if they price it at $115, folks, you're paying 20% more on an investment piece. It just really limits your options, okay? You're basically, your only option at that point is to just hold until you take a profit. But if you are to acquire at a pre-order price of $104 to $106, there's a lot more flexibility in there. You can sell at $120 all day at release and take a 15 to 20% gain, or you can hold and have that 20% cushion. So like I said, folks, making those early plays, I understand the economy's tight right now, so if you can't pick it up at $104, $105, not the biggest deal in the world. It's going to be available all day at $115 or $120. If you do have the capital available ready to go, getting it at that $104 mark really helps you out, and especially helps you out if you just want to make a quick flip and build up your little Poke bankroll and get your capital ready for the next set. Possibly just an amazing opportunity here if this is a short print. When you're buying a booster box, you're really trying to look at how good the set is first off and what the scarcity is going to look like, okay? And usually those go hand in hand, because the top sets in an era are so good that those booster boxes are just eventually going to be all bought up relatively quickly compared to the other quote unquote trash sets. So when we look at this Paldea Evolve, like I explained all throughout this video, the artwork is just phenomenal. There's no denying that the artwork is very unique in the TCG, and there's probably nothing we have seen like it before. I'm not saying there hasn't been amazing, beautiful vintage cards, but like I said, they're just getting very creative with it these days. That when we look at that part of the collectability of this booster box, I love that, because down the road, all these pulls, all these little alternate arts, that's what I love to see when I'm looking to buy a booster box, invest money in a booster box. I love to see those amazing pulls, because that really affects when someone's going to spend $500, $600, $800 down the line. If they see those pulls or not when they're looking at the set list, I mean, that really sways if they're going to spend that type of money. I try to buy the best products, meaning I try to buy the products that contain the best sets in them, because that really affects my liquidity, and I'm not super rich, okay? I'm just a regular person. So when I need to flip it and take my profits on something, I like to have the liquidity in something, and I like to know I chose a product that contains a set that can stand the test of time, okay, when we're talking 7-8 years down the road. But as the Scarlet and Violet era goes on, these LGS pre-order prices might become increasingly important, because a company like Walmart is rarely going to take a 10% gross profit on booster boxes, okay? It's rarely going to happen. They're probably just going to store the booster boxes in a huge warehouse and just only sell them online and just ship them out. And that's very different from an LGS. An LGS needs to get through a large percentage of their new product quick so that they can have the money available for the next allocations. So I say that because those amazing prices close to distro, if the Pokemon Company keeps lowering allocations to the LGSs, those nice pre-order prices at 104, 106, still within 10% of distro, those days might be long gone if this trend by the Pokemon Company continues to happen. I definitely don't think it's a good thing. Okay, Walmart has enough product to sell already. When I go to Walmart, the Pokemon product is never there. I'm always having to buy stuff online. I don't know why they necessarily need to take up 40 to 50% of booster boxes from LGSs, which are generally owned by just regular mom and pop people, okay? So definitely a weird and unfortunate thing happening right now. And we'll see if it continues. Thanks for watching, folks. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good weekend and take care.